This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. Andy Lee.
Hi Charlie.
What's happening? How are you, mate?
All good.
You always look really like dapper, and I always feel like I've got to do something about it.
Just once in a while. I'm usually going around with a pair of shorts and my training gear on, doing the school run. But no, I'm in Saudi, here for a massive fight. I'm working for DAZN, so I have to dress up once in a blue moon.
Well, yeah, very important to say that. Obviously, we are partnered with DAZN, and obviously this Saturday night, make sure to buy the fight on DAZN. And I think there's also extra access they can get. There's different types of commentary and stuff like that. We've got a mouth-watering clash come Saturday night. The best against the best in the 175-pound division. I was going to say, fair to say, we don't know if we would have had it if it wasn't for His Excellency and everything that's happening in Saudi Arabia, but we've got it at the right time, and that's what counts.
Yeah. These guys probably at their peak, really, both of them. Both champions, both undefeated. Beterbiev with all knockouts, no one's gone the distance with him. And Bivol with some signature wins, beating Canelo, beating Gilberto Ramirez. It's a mouth-watering fight, yeah. It's one of the best fights in boxing that can be made. And it's a great clash of styles, very close to call. No one truly knows, as the both fighters says. Only God knows who will win. But we're close to it now, and it's exciting.
You know what surprised me? I spoke to Lyndon Arthur yesterday. Obviously, he sparred Beterbiev and properly been in the ring with Dmitry Bivol, and he edges Beterbiev in the fight, just in terms of that nasty power and the spitefulness. And he said, obviously, you know, he took some shots from Bivol and probably definitely didn't box how Beterbiev's going to go in there, but doesn't think that the power will phase Beterbiev that Dmitry's got. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with Lyndon on that. That I slightly favour Beterbiev just because of the power, and 12 rounds is a long time to stay away from that. But if there's anyone who can do it, it's Bivol, because he's a master technician, great judge of distance, great boxer with rhythm, and yeah, I think it's a great clash, and we'll see. But I probably, like everyone who spars Beterbiev talks about it. You've seen the videos doing the rounds, how hard he hits. Yeah, and that's how it looks. I got a taxi in here with Liam Smith, and I said, "What did Callum say?" He said, "Hits hard, and he doesn't even load up with them. You know, he just puts it out there. So yeah, we'll see. It's so close now, and all the talk will be over soon.
I remember the narrative going into the Callum Smith fight, and actually a lot of fights that opponents have had with Beterbiev, and it's always been like, Father Time's going to catch him, and people have always said that, and so far it hasn't. He is 39 though. The 175 weight cut doesn't get any easier. If anything, probably becomes that little bit more difficult every time. What do you sort of make of that dynamic to this fight?
Yeah, listen, those things, I don't think Bivol will have any interest in or even think like that, because you're looking to gain confidence from something that's yet to be seen or doesn't exist really. Fighters can get old overnight. You know, they lose half an inch in speed or power, but we have never seen that from Beterbiev yet. So Bivol said, "I'm preparing for the best. I'm preparing for him like he's his best, and Beterbiev will be the same." So you can't even think like that. Oh well, hopefully he's had a hard time making weight, or no. Come fight night, you know, he'll be as good as he's ever going to be, and you have to expect that.
How does Bivol go about winning this fight, in your opinion?
He can't concede too much ground. He's going to have to, which is the hardest thing to do against Beterbiev. He's going to have to try to. He has a wide stance, and he likes to lean back. Vary his jab. Use his jab not always as a power punch, but as give the jab to make Beterbiev punch, take the distance away, and then counter. He's going to have to feint, lose a lot of feints but he can do all these things are in his arsenal. So he's well capable of doing it. So, but it's 12 rounds. He's got to stay off the ropes, turn, move, use movement. He's got to be similar to how he fought Canelo Alvarez, but with Beterbiev, you got a guy who will counter punch a lot more than Canelo did. So he's got to be a bit more unpredictable with his attacks and pick his moments when he throws his hands, because you can't just throw them at will like he did against Canelo. He's going to have to pick his moments, because something will come back from Beterbiev.
Just cat and mouse though, right?
Yeah, it's more than cat and mouse. It's more. It's two cats.
And then Beterbiev, is it just applying that constant pressure, being nasty, spiteful from the first round? Is there more?
Yeah, try to make, which he does, try to make Bivol work at a fast pace early in the fight, so that going late, he'll just tire slightly and can be more effective with his punching. He has a lot of skill too, Beterbiev. It's not just a come forward, take your punch, slam my punch. He has a very heavy jab. Throws a sneaky right hand over the top. And that's where I say Bivol has to be careful when he's jabbing. But yeah, look to getting close. Look to maneuver Bivol. And look to land punches on it when he's got his back to the ropes.
We've just seen carnage erupt at the Hilton between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Your thoughts on that fight?
It's a fight that people want to see. It's a fight that should have, could have, and happened before. But listen, all that's gone on in the past, the history between them two and between their fathers, makes the fight even bigger now. So yeah, I'd like to see the fight. I don't want to comment who I think would win, because I haven't ever really put any thought into it, because I like both guys. I know both guys. But it is a fight I'd like to see, and see who wins it.
Given the time that it's had to brew, obviously Conor's time away from the ring, and then obviously had 2 return fights, albeit the competition very, very different at 154 pounds. Does that make it easier for him to go up to 160 pounds this time round? Whereas before there was that uncertainty, it was going up the 2 divisions. Yeah,
well, he's more time to grow into the weight. But he still will be the smaller guy. Probably not. He's not a natural middleweight.
Yeah, of course.
And Eubank's probably super middleweight, really, who comes down to middle. So yeah, all these things make for an interesting fight, don't they?
I suppose just lastly from me, if Anthony Joshua is to take the rematch with Daniel Dubois, and he does lose by knockout again, does that completely spoil AJ Fury? Or any hopes of what we had of AJ Fury being this close fight as such?
No, because listen, they could fight 5 times and it could be 3 knockouts to 2. And the first fight, 1 punch could have landed, could have changed. That first fight could have been completely different. It's completely different, and it's the difference of 1 punch landing or not landing. Right before he got knocked out, he landed a good shot, Joshua, and had he not thrown an uppercut and got caught with the right hand, he might have went on and landed another big shot, and the tide could have turned. But that's heavyweight boxing, and you paid to watch knockouts. You paid that. They went out there, they did what they're supposed to do. They let their hands go, and one of them got knocked out. Doesn't mean it's the end of your career. Not for heavyweights anyway, because that's what they're supposed to do.
I suppose you've seen that with Joe Parker, right?
Yeah, he can I'd like to see Fury and Joshua fight. I would like to see it. But I'd also, obviously, I'm waiting for my man Joseph to get that opportunity as well. Fight Dubois or Usyk or Tyson, even though we would never fight Tyson.
Final message ahead of Saturday night. Such a great fight. 2 beasts in their own right. For Undisputed, we've seen it in May. We now see it this month for the opening of Riyadh season. Boxing's in a great place, right? And obviously fans can buy that on DAZN. A great fight.
Yeah, DAZN has changed the game, and with Riyadh season being involved, these great fights are happening and they're shown all over the world. It's a privilege to be part of the broadcasting team for these fights, and yeah, it's a dream come true because it's a dream job for anybody, for me and you. So we're lucky, very lucky, and grateful to be here, and looking forward to the fights on Saturday.
Andy Lee, top man, thank you very much for your time.